As mentioned, I've been doing quite a lot of cleaning up in the background, basically sorting through things that I've saved, deciding what to keep, what to get rid of, and as part of that, some of it just to get it out of the way, turning it into content. So, this is just a quick look at an account by some people who went to Truckee for the weekend to help search for Kiely. I don't know if there's anything useful in it, but I thought, given that the amount of content that gets just deleted and lost, that I would at least get it on record just in case there is something worthwhile there that we actually do need to keep. So this is an account by some volunteers who went to help the search. I will mention before I start though that any names that were mentioned in this account I have scribbled out, and I've also removed the names of the people who gave this account. While I think, being 2 years on, it's probably not hugely important to be removing names, but given that there is a content creator who seems to just grab any name that they can find and then tries to link them somehow with Kiely's disappearance, I don't want to be responsible for enabling that kind of behaviour in any way. And yes, it is puppy dog nap time, in case you hadn't guessed. Footage of some of our efforts to help in the search for Kiely Rodney this weekend. When I heard the story of this young girl the day she went missing, I felt a pull to help any way I could. I mentioned it and the pull became a plan. Saturday morning we loaded up and drove to Truckee to meet at the family's trailer at Truckee Recreation Centre. We met a small group of sweet, loving people that set us up with the search app, and off we went. We four-wheeled and hiked areas that hadn't been or couldn't be reached until dark. Okay, what exactly do they mean by saying that those areas hadn't been or couldn't be reached until dark? I don't understand. If someone can explain that to me, that would be great, because I don't see, if you are searching, why there would be specific areas that you can only search after dark. It's not logical. We went to Prosser Family Campground to check for a camping spot open, since it was the closest to the search area. The campground manager was furious that we had the nerve to pull through his campground with the writing on our Jeep and white search t-shirts. He assumed we were looky-loos, combing his grounds and disturbing his guests by videoing them all. This also needs some clarification, because it was my understanding that there actually wasn't a campground manager at Prosser, but there was one at Boca. And the next bit where they're talking about still relating to the campground manager, I thought was something that had happened at Boca, not at Prosser. Can someone let me know their thoughts on this? Was there a campground manager at Prosser? We explained that if it were our children, we would want all the help we could get, and that's all we are here to do. The man claimed there was no party and was very upset that the FBI had interviewed him and some of the campers as well, as confiscated the trash truck from his grounds. He was clearly disillusioned and combative and of no help. So once again, it's my understanding that the trash truck that was confiscated was actually taken from Boca, not from Prosser Reserve. So if someone can clarify that for me, that'd be great. We do know that there were campers that were interviewed that were camping at Prosser that were interviewed by the FBI, so we know that that is accurate. So perhaps The notion that there wasn't a camp manager at Prosser is wrong. Search and rescue were friendly, but were very clearly not part of the civilian search, and vice versa, which was a strange feeling. Okay, first I'm going to comment on really, really poor grammar there, but I guess it's also possible that it was autocorrect. Vice versa. I'm not quite sure what they mean when they're saying that search and rescue were friendly, but we are very clearly not part of the civilian search and vice versa. That whole sentence doesn't quite make sense to me. Are they saying that they're not civilian searchers? Because I got the impression that they were. Are they saying that they were on the outside because they weren't locals? I think that's probably what the truth of the matter was. Okay. Most searches we've witnessed include group efforts on behalf of all teams, not division over certification, etc. No idea what that means. But they were kind and helpful nonetheless. Most of the videos below and photos are of Prosser Campground and Prosser Reservoir. It's as close to the party site as we could get. You can see the topography makes it difficult for planes amongst trees, ground crews because of accessibility, and so on. We felt we were most helpful if we checked areas that others couldn't reach and were able to mark them off the huge area to be searched still. We returned home last night exhausted and sad that she hasn't been found yet. Today was a huge help by going with me to hand out flyers. We covered a large portion of the Lodi area and I couldn't be more thankful for her help. When she sets her mind to something, she's indestructible and unstoppable. Needless to say, the search continues. I think really the only thing that I get from reading through that account is that this individual has a slightly over-exaggerated sense of ego. But it is curious about the manager from apparently Prosser. So was there a campground manager at Prosser, or were they referring to the Boca campground manager? Because we know that the campground manager at Boca resigned on, I think it was the 22nd of August, because they were really, really unhappy with the entire situation. And they were the ones who were really, really unhappy about their garbage truck being taken by FBI. I've not heard any accounts of the same occurring over at Prosser. But those of you who have been following this from the get-go, perhaps someone can add some clarification for this. Thank you.
Give a fuck about me.